Today on The Real Deal with Aanam C, you are in for a real treat. Joining me today is the man of the moment, someone whose first appearance on screen has had both boys and girls absolutely smitten. My own YouTube comment section is proof of this. Chintan Rachchh plays Faruq Manzoor on Netflix's Class, and I'm so happy to have him on the pod today. Let's dive into the real deal on how it feels to get this meteoric fame with his debut. Chintan, welcome to the pod. You are loving this attention. Tell me about that. I really want to ask you. You are getting so much of attention. The girls love you.
The guys love me also.
Yes, the girls love you. The gays love you. I absolutely love how much love you're getting. My comment section, I was like, wow, there is a very clear favorite going on around here. How does this feel?
Amazing. Always I craved for this so it was like I waited for this moment to come.
You knew it was coming, weren't you?
Not really. Like I thought because again, so I was very calculative. Okay, if you see the show, the screen time, if you divide it, so me and Dhruv didn't have a lot of screen time in comparison to the other actors. So I used to think, okay, it also depends on the screen time. Who's more visible would get more fan following or something like that. But now that that thought of me has broken down, and I'm just like, okay, the role matters and not the screen time exactly. Like, I think the coolest role gets the more attention. So yeah. So that's one thing. I'm loving it, honestly. I'm happy. I'm not satisfied because again, like I really want as much as validation as I can get because I don't give validation to myself. Okay, that's when it gets sad. So I like this sort of attention. It's not just about, me. It's about even my part and my acting. So it's not just one sort of validation. Oh, wow, you look good. It's like, okay, you know your craft also. So for me as an actor also, it's a great validation. And whenever a person is seeing the show, they are texting me first, okay, you have really like sort of killed whatever scenes you did with your performance, and then they are like, hey, wow, you're cute also, something on that lines. So for me, the first thing is as an actor they appreciate me, and then the second thing is yeah, I'm cute too, and thanks mom and dad for that. So
but that's a big learning, that's a big takeaway to have immediately from your first role, right? The fact that when you were looking at your debut, you were looking at more screen time, and you've come out of a show that has so many fresh faces. And yet somehow you're getting appreciation for your performance and not just the screen time.
Again, so like my performance somewhere also depends on a lot of things. Okay, I think my performance was actually okay, but the writing part, the way Faruq was written, even the way our scenes were shot, like my scenes were pretty aesthetic. If you see, like we were shooting in Agrasin Ki Bauli, we were shooting in Humayun's tomb, and so all the places. If you see in the show, they are pretty like, well done and well lit. Not well lit, it was very dark actually. Yeah, but my place was entirely different from the entire track that was going on. So again, that also gave, I think, a little edge somewhere. People feel, okay, this is different than the entire thing that's going on. And me and Dhruv, not even Dhruv, just me, if you see as a character, I was not involved in the murder arc at all. Like it was just me who was not involved. Even I didn't have an interrogation with police. If you see in the original Elite, Omar had an interrogation. Here I was not involved there. So for me, it was like, I'm done with the murder arc. I'm not there only at all. So that was also, I think, one of the things that helped me out writing. Even like the showrunner, so Oshim did a great job with me. Actually, I'm telling you, okay, we all gave minimum 10 takes for one scene. And for several reasons. It was not just the acting part, the camera movement, everything. He made sure that a scene looks perfect. So like as an actor also, I know somewhere that I'm not that good, but Oshim made me do good. So like I cannot take credit for any of it, but somewhere I can just be happy with whatever I'm getting.
I love that. So much humility, and I really appreciate that because I feel like, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of teamwork that goes into it. But as the face of all of this, I'm sure there's some level of, okay, this is amazing and so glad that it came together for you. I think one of the main reasons people have also been rooting for this particular show is because there's a very popular term going around when it comes to the world of entertainment. You know what I'm about to say? It's the Indian N word that we love and hate to use, nepotism.
Oh.
And there's absolutely none of that.
Indian N-word.
Yeah,
what was
it's
it?
It's a description that just
nachos?
works. That would be a word I would use a lot if it was nachos. But I think one of the main reasons so many people were rooting for this show as much as they were was also because, oh my God, there's just genuine raw talent, people getting the opportunity to make that first mark on their own, with no famous surnames, which is kind of awesome sometimes.
No, actually, Dhruv is called Chayan Chopra, so Chopra is a pretty famous surname, but he's not connected. So yeah, I think Oshim had this thing. Okay, he wanted to cast just like raw talent for this. He didn't wanted to like go for any person that's involved anywhere near the industry, they are connected or something like that. And in fact, he said this in one of his interviews. So I read his interviews just to see what he felt like, because he had never spoken anything with us. He was just working. He never expressed why he made the show, why he casted us, any of these things. And so I think I'm going to meet him today. We are going to like have a chat. So I'll ask him this, that, okay, why did you cast all of us? What was the reason? Okay, he went through, I think, minimum of 3,000 auditions for my character. Yeah, so 3,000 into 11, that is 33,000. 33,000 minimum auditions just to brush up through all that thing. That's like a lot. So why did you make this effort? You could have just went with some star kid here and like so with star kid, I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing, because you would get workshops, you would get trained, and one more thing you'd get is you would get a sort of audience, because you are already well known as a face, at least. So more people would watch it just for you. And in the end, it matters how many people watch the show. Like people saying it's a nepo baby, everything, etc., etc. That is okay. वो side का business है. But people would watch it for the sake of watching it. And at the end, it matters the people, how many people are watching the show, because we have to do, if we want to make season 2, people have to watch season 1, and they have to at least touch like a certain amount of audience to sanction it for season 2.
I don't know what response you're going to get from him when he says why he chose to, but I think me and a whole lot of other people who really genuinely enjoy consuming content on OTT platforms are really glad, because this show came out looking and feeling really special. I can tell you that. But tell me a little bit about like your audition process, or what brought you here, or what made even you choose this as opposed to so many other things that I'm sure you've been constantly auditioning for. It's not an easy process to get that debut. So give me a little backstory on your journey to reaching here.
So a lot of things actually. I started auditioning back in 2019 for ads, at least. Like I started with ads, then I auditioned for, not auditioned, but I went for castings for prints and all. I joined a modeling agency, and it went pretty well for me. But I never auditioned for web shows or movies. But before that, around class 9th, I started my theatre. Like I used to do Gujarati theatre for 6 years. I continuously did Gujarati theatre. I did I did a small play with Pratik Gandhi where I just said like 2 lines to him. That's it. That was like my biggest break. And I was in class 11 then. But then I came to Bombay and I started doing Hindi theatre also. I got involved in my college dramatics. And like several things I started, but I never auditioned just because I thought I'm not ready. Eventually auditions came, I went for them just for the sake of it. What happened? So I gave auditions for a lot of other OTTs also, and I got shortlisted for some, but it didn't work out. For what reason, I don't know. And finally, when this audition came to me, the briefing was such, it was given in a nice manner. Like you never get like such a long brief. So the casting director made sure that I get a brief, like I know the inside out of the character, and he also knows me as a person, because I think somewhere they were finding it on the lines of how near this guy is to the character.
Tell me a little bit about how this has impacted you in present day. I don't mean professionally, I mean personally, right? Because when Netflix comes along, and Netflix is, I mean, the bandwidth and the entire ecosystem of Netflix that comes with it. It's a global audience, and I mean, I don't know a single person who doesn't watch anything on the platform, for example. What does that feel like? Are you getting recognized on the streets? Are you getting like, how is it impacting your personal life? Are the girls sliding into the DMs? What's that feeling like?
अरे कल ना मैं नारियल बहुत पीता हूँ, ओके, तो ये कॉन्टेक्स्ट दे रहा हूँ मैं पहले से। तो मैं मेरे घर के पास ही कहीं नारियल पी रहा था एंड 2 girls वर स्टैंडिंग somewhere here and they were just watching and they were just talking something and I knew for a fact कि okay अभी इन्होंने पकड़ लिया है मैं कौन हूँ. So then I turned and I was like hi and they were like can we take a selfie. At that point of time I was like okay now people know me because okay log DM करते हैं, people like sort of send you messages, you can see a lot of comments but you never see them. So now when you see them in person you feel like oh now okay it's all of this is real. And at the same time I went to Comic Con for the sake of it because see, I love obviously I love superheroes but at the same time I felt why do I have a feeling that people would recognize me there because the show was out. In fact it was the second week. So I went there and I'm not even kidding, I think nearly like 20-30 people came and took selfie with me.
Oh my god.
So I was like oh wow that's so cool. Okay so people can connect the real me and the real me somewhere. So because I thought okay if you see the show I think I look a little different then, I look a little different right now.
No, I mean the face is the same, and I feel so happy hearing this in particular because I feel like again I find myself always rooting for people who are like self-made and doing what they do. So you started saying I'm and then you stopped yourself. So say it, I'm famous, because like you stopped yourself from saying it.
No, I'm not famous. I'm well known. I'm semi-known. I'm a semi-known actor.
You could probably just say like I'm famous and it's just getting started.
Yeah, it's just getting started. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because I'm still like, somebody asked me, are you happy? I'm like, I'm happy but not satisfied because I always wanted more. And this is just the start. Since the day the show is out, I've been just working, like doing these sort of interviews. At the same time, I'm giving different auditions. I'm screen testing for different things. So I'm just not sleeping. I'm not able to sleep just because of the fact that, okay, I never thought that what I dreamt of would be actually accomplished in some way, and now when it's happening I can't believe this. I can't take this moment for granted, so I'm not even wasting a single moment. Right now also, like, we are doing this, after this I'll rush to another meeting and then I'll rush to Oshim's place, and there is again something tomorrow early morning, so I'm sleeping barely for 4 hours and I'm not even complaining about that. I love the fact that okay, I'm not getting free. For some reason, I always wanted that, because whenever I'm sitting for even like 5 minutes, I'm doing nothing, I feel, okay, what is happening in my life? Why am I just not doing anything right now? So it's a good feeling that finally I'm not being free and I'm doing whatever I love. So both of that things.
All of this at 23? Do I have your right age or have I got wrong information on the internet?
Yeah, it's 23.
23. That's awesome. So that's why I'm saying give yourself more credit than you are, because...
yeah, I don't want to give credit to myself just because if it doesn't work out, then, it would feel like he was arrogant. That's why it didn't work out.
But itne dur to pahunche, you know what I mean? I'm not saying Delhi dur nahi hai, but I'm saying yahan tak to pahunche, like...
हाँ, आगे भी पहुंच जाएंगे. अभी तो इंशाल्लाह आगे पहुंच जाएंगे.
I want to ask you told me about your particular fan moment, and I love that they came up to you and asked for selfies while you were having Nariyal. But tell me about a particular moment while filming the series where you felt like, I got this, or just like, I got my shit covered. Like, give me a little bit of that.
So, not even for a moment I felt like I am doing a good job. Firstly, because I always doubt myself for some reason. Whatever I do, I think, okay, it's not getting wherever I want it to get. And Oshim saw this. So Oshim came to me after a shot and he's like, hey bro, were you a topper in your childhood? And I was like, yeah, that's the reason. You don't have to top this. You're doing great. That's what he said. So I felt, that was my epiphany. Oh no, I don't have to crack this. I just have to be. So since then, I've really changed my personality also in a lot of ways, just because as a student, your life is different, your problems are different. As an adult, your problems are really different. And a college student, you are just rooting for several things in your life. You're doing, you have to be cool in college, so you also try to do committee work. You also you obviously have to get some CGPA, so you study also. But then for me, it was also, I'm giving auditions also, I'm doing this also, I'm doing some poetry gigs. So all of these things. So somewhere I felt I tried a lot And when I try a lot, I think it's good for me. But what he taught me and what I captured from when he said, "Ke, don't try, just be the way you are." I quoted a sentence saying, "I try to not try." Like eventually, I try that much that I appear organic to people. This is how he is.
I have my mind going in two different directions, to be honest, over here. One of them is asking me is telling me to ask you about your childhood, which I definitely want to do. I want to circle back to that because the other thing that's standing out to me is this thing that you've mentioned in a pattern a couple of times about validation and about being a topper. Something over here is also kind of nudging at me because maybe I'm relating to it a little bit.
You were a topper?
I was a very studious, and I made my parents very happy with my grades.
Yeah.
And maybe, I mean, I'm realizing this as we're speaking, that maybe that's why I'm also always so hard on myself.
Yeah.
No, but this was great. It could have been better. And, it's this feeling of, and it's a feeling that I've personally made peace with, where I tell myself that I'm content, but I'm not satisfied.
True.
And in a way it leaves me hungry to do better, but also it fucking hell takes a toll on your mental health.
Yeah.
So where's the balance at? Tell me more about that side of you. That is like you said, looking for external validation because you're not giving it to yourself. And at the same time you're trying so hard that it looks like you're not trying.
So for me it was since like I think class 6 was my first year when I actually topped the entire class. I came first. And things that guys don't want to say, I came first. But then like I started, I got the feeling that, okay, it feels nice to be, to feel superior to others in some sort of manner, not to like belittle them, just in the fact as a matter that you know something which not a lot of people know. So that makes you feel better. Not in the way, you don't know this. It's just that, I worked hard, so I know this better now. So it makes you feel better. So since then only I started working hard on everything and anything that I got. But I never really shoulder patted myself, you did this. And I don't want to, just because if I do this, I think I will be satisfied for some reason and then I won't work hard. And I will keep working hard till the point I burn out, breakdown, and I haven't been, I haven't breakdown as of now, or even I don't feel the burnout yet. So I'll keep doing it. I'll keep sipping my coffee, or I don't smoke, so I don't even drink, so I'll just keep sipping my coffee and chai. So, but still I'll just work as hard as possible. I don't want to give the validation to myself. I want people to give it to, like, all the people around me to give the validation. Even if one person is saying, you didn't perform the job well, then for me it's like, okay, the next time you'd see, I think I'll try to touch your mind in some way to make my performance very believable. So I'm okay with myself. I don't want to give myself validation.
But I have a stub question here in that case, because you said that. Do you consider yourself a people pleaser?
I am. Of course. High time.
Isn't that tough though? Because
no,
then
not really.
You don't, because I have a few friends in my personal circle that I would consider, just by, general stereotype, okay, people pleasers.
Haan ji.
Not a good thing, not a bad thing. I know, each to their own. Everyone's built differently. But doesn't that carry a certain amount of weight where you're like, oh my God, you have to give shits about what other people think all the time?
So I do give a shit about people, and I don't sometimes. It's a very like, I don't know, weird space I am in. It depends. Okay, I know this, for example, this thing I have to give shit about. I don't want to be that guy, like, a typical, stereotypical actor that people portray. As if you're an artist actor, you don't have to give shit about anyone. You have to just focus on your performance. Yes, if I am performing something, I don't really give shit about anybody. If, for example, if we are shooting some scene or something like that, I just focus on my performance. Not even performance, I focus on replying to the other artist or the person who's giving cue, because that's how acting works. But if I'm out there, I'm with you, or I am with I'm doing some PR event, something like that, so I really give a shit about every single person there. So I think I know where to give a shit and where not to give a shit. Just to in the end, I just have to make it work. So whatever I'm doing, I have to just complete the task given. So I'm in that space.
I like the sound of that. It sounds like a very balanced act of knowing when to and when not to give
because
a
I
shit.
don't want to be that sort of actor also. Na, okay, people like critics appreciate him, but people don't really know him. I want to be well known enough so that people appreciate, okay, this guy knows acting also. At the same time, he can talk well, he can behave well, he cares about us, all of these things. Like, I don't want to be in a specific box. I have to touch every single person at the same time, every single character, everything. I'll do everything. Yeah.
I love that. I feel like on one last note, I want to go into the childhood aspect a little bit. Tell me a little bit. You said you were studious, of course, and you clearly enjoyed your academics.
Yeah.
But can you give us more over there? Like, what else were you good at? What did you shy? Were you a shy kid? Or were you
I was like very introvert, but one thing I made sure of, whenever I went on stage, I was literally a different person. And now when I think of it, I feel that's not something I'm saying it out just for the sound of it. Oh wow, it sounds cool. No, for real, it was like that. With people, I was, if you would talk to me somewhere where it's just like a gathering or something, I won't really speak that much. I would just make some dad jokes and leave. Yeah, that's the thing I would do. But if it is a stage, if there is a requirement of me to perform, I'd be a different person. I'd be like super extrovert. I'd question every single individual. I'd do the crowd work also. At the same time, I'd do my performance with whatever is given to me. So academically, I was sound after class 6 only. Before that also, I was like in the top 3, top 5 whatsoever, but I didn't really concentrate on the fact that I have to top. After that, I started, okay, no, I have to top this also. I used to host my assemblies back in like class 6 itself. Like I started hosting my assemblies. So I was that guy who used to say, now it's time for prayer. Now it's time for another prayer. Now it's time for student of the week. And now it's time for the thought of the day. And finally now stand up. Let's Saudhan Vishram, all of that. So I used to be that MC guy. And I directed a play when I was in class 7th. And then I also was involved in just one sports, I guess, and that was swimming, a bit in skating. I loved cricket, but I don't know really like how to ace it. And for me, it is important that if I am batting, I have to like at least hit some boundaries and 1 over, like 6 balls, I at least have to hit 1 boundary out of, like 1 out of 6 should be a boundary. I know bowling better. But I was never involved in sports. I had, I just mentioned it somewhere else also. I had 2 friends and I still have them. Like they are my best friends and they support me. They're still at my hometown, Rajkot. One of them is, I think, leaving the country in a month or so. But apart from that, I didn't have a lot of friends. So I lacked people skills. So I sort of, when I came to Bombay, I had to make a lot of friends just to be the people pleaser that you're talking about. Okay, for a person like this, I have to behave like this. For a person like this, I have to behave like this also. And I have to be tolerant, because see, now when you are an introvert in your child, you don't have you're not very tolerant of a lot of things, because you stay with your books or your games. I used to play a game called GTA San Andreas. That is the only game I played. And also Vice City. Okay, well, I also played Midtown Madness. So
I have an older brother. I got you.
Yes. Yeah. So a few games also I played, but I never actually hung out with like a lot of people. In fact, I was in a day school. So I used to come home around 5 or 6. And after that, I was just done with the day. So I used to eat and watch Ben 10. I love Ben 10. And that was one thing I went for in the Comic Con also, to get something. There was some merchandise and I got it. I got a diary also, and I have it right now also in my bag. So I because I'm very unorganized nowadays, so I write in that, okay, 10 to 11 I have to do this. I've written your name also. Okay, this is podcast, I have to reach here, and I've came 10 minutes late also. So I'm like, oh, I've kept 10 minutes late. Yeah. So that too. But I didn't have, a very extroverted life then. Even so I don't know the relatives things. I was always I cannot deal with them because it was pretty much the same situation how it is out there in the memes. You know, अरे बेटा इनको ये करके दिखाओ, बेटा उनको वो करके दिखाओ. ना मुझे नहीं करना कुछ, मैं जा रहा हूँ मेरे रूम में. And specifically when my relatives used to come at my place, I used to wait when they are going, when are they leaving. And as soon as they left, I went down, took the nashta that my mummy got. I used to eat it and go back. That's how you deal with it. Yeah, but other than that, I think like I really liked just, you know, concentrating on one thing which I had in my hand. And I don't know, for me somewhere I felt that making friends was pretty futile for some reason. I don't know what is the psychology behind it, like what was the 12-year-old or 11-year-old thinking back then. But now I make friends. Now after I have got something in my life, okay, now finally what I wanted to do, I have done this at least like 10%, 20%. Now I can take a bit of breather and make friends also. Because for me to enjoy life, I think I have to accomplish something. Then only I can enjoy it. And that also I think has to do something with what my parents or what my teachers taught me. कि 10th के बाद life अच्छी है, 12th के बाद life अच्छी है, college के बाद life अच्छी है, job के बाद life अच्छी है. So now for me it's like कि इसके बाद life अच्छी होगी. So right now also when this got, like the show got out, I was like कि हाँ इसके बाद शायद life अच्छी होगी. But now also I'm feeling कि नहीं, शायद the next project उसके बाद life अच्छी होने वाली है. So I'm still in that mode.
Junior Chintan sounds really like a sweet child.
Yeah.
But what is the biggest difference between Junior Chintan and Chintan today?
Wow, I have to really think about it. I think the one difference would be for him, it was he thought never to enjoy. And now for me, it is that enjoyment is also a work for me right now. So that's how I convinced myself to enjoy. Because I won't even say it it's a difference, but somewhere I think Junior Chintan was more, he was not confident enough. And whatsoever I would like, I might sound humble and all of that, but I'm very confident about my art. If you'd offer me something and if you'd give me some time with it, even if the character is far away from what I am, I would still do it, and in a way that looks organic. It won't look that I'm performing a lot. So that was my aim also. If you see the series, it should look like this guy's effortless. And after every scene, I used to make sure that, okay, obviously Awesome didn't allow us to see the main screen after that, after the shot for some reasons. But if I got some time and if he was away, I used to see the screen and see, okay, now, this is a little effortless, thank God. So that was my aim. And I think that also somewhere made sense to people. Your performance was very real. That is the one part I'm getting in every DM. Your performance was very real. So what is real for me? I think it was, I'm not that person. I'm not Faruq at all. But for me, it was, I have to just make it believable for you. And for that, I have to do it several times so that it becomes my second nature.
Welcome to my personal favorite segment, Slide Into My DMs. This is where I take a peek into my guests' DMs. And yes, I'll be sharing mine too. In this no-holds-barred segment, we nosedive into our guests' inboxes, as well as messages from you to us from my Instagram. Buckle up for a potentially scandalous round of messages and some sweet ones too. Let's go! I basically want to poke my nose into your DMs, and I want to ask you, what are you getting in the DMs these days? What's the most interesting, what's the most scandalous message you might have received? Because listen, I'm not going to believe that you're not getting anything. You and I have established
of
that
course.
by now. So give us some gup.
Do you want like extreme gup, or do you want gup?
No, I want extreme. Now that you've given me the option, I want extreme
just
gup.
to make sure that I don't say anything. Yeah.
No, now I want extreme gup. I love it. Don't take names. That's fine.
Yeah. I don't even remember the names.
Pod.
Yeah. I think shit. So I really get intrigued when somebody doesn't write anything and just sends a photo. So yeah, I'm like, okay, it might be a screenshot of like me performing something, and they might be watching it just because. When the show got released, they did that they used to send me pictures and like just write on that picture, watching this show and you are so good. So I was like, okay, fair. Because it's just like, what would be there in this photo? because you have to, accept it and then you can see the photo. So once I did it and it was a picture that I shouldn't have seen. Yeah. So I was like, okay, now I don't have to open
Wait,
every...
are you saying a girl sent you a nude selfie? It sounds like that.
No, I am not going to specify what it was, but yeah, it was something like that I shouldn't have opened. Yeah, that.
But she shouldn't have sent it. You shouldn't have opened it is not the...
Abhi मैं क्या करूँ?
Okay, that's quite something. Was there anything else also? Listen, but like I have a bunch of gay friends who, like male gay friends, who also absolutely adored you on the show. So it's not just the chicks.
So I'm telling you, both of the photos, like I received a couple of photos. Yeah,
you got dick pics.
Yeah.
Welcome to the female content creator.
And I really.
Life. Yes.
So I think I also asked Aisha about this. Okay, you know what? Do you get these sort of things in general? And she's like, yeah, before even the show came out. And I'm like, oh wow, I had no idea. This is like a disaster. I'm really sorry. You have to go through all of these things.
There is a breed of men that thinks it's a great, I'm not sure if they think it's a pickup line or whether they think they're turning women on. But yeah, for anyone who's listening, it's obviously disgusting.
I'm really sorry on behalf of a lot of people. But yeah, even whenever I saw, even not just like both of the pictures, both the sides of the story, but so I was just like, it's not comfortable. Yeah. So I was there. Then I started like, I'll just read the messages.
And both ways, right? Even if it's a woman who's sending you a nude selfie, that's not okay either. It's not just the dick pic that I personally have an issue with. I think that you just can't send nude pictures to people in their inboxes. It's unsolicited.
But sometimes I feel okay, what can I do about this? All right, I won't open the DMs.
Yeah. So my advice would be to make sure that if it's a picture, like the picture, because pictures can show up in your DMs as is without accepting, and then there's pictures that's not staying in chat.
Yeah, I think
because you can send pictures and photos.
Yeah, I think that is the thing only they are sending.
Yeah. So just don't accept.
But the thing is, okay, some people also send good things. Like somebody sent me an artwork in that sort of format. Like I can just open it for once. So like I feel like, okay, what am I missing out? Should I open it? Should I not? So I'm in that zone. So like see, nowadays I'm not even getting time to open DMs, but even if I do, so like I try to just see the messages. There is like a great group of people who are making edits on me and Chayan, both of us, and they made a group and they uploaded a story saying, please, we have made a group, please reply to this. Because see, I see the stories that I'm getting mentioned, because that's very easy. Now, now the new feature that Instagram has made. So now I'm just seeing all the stories and they are like, okay, they've announced it out here. So why not have to just go and see the group? So it's like a group of bunch of people. So I went there and replied, okay, thank you so much for making the edits, because somewhere I feel they've really, they also help us grow. A lot of people. So with the edits, I feel I love the edits. Firstly, just because it makes the character look super cool. Like, of course, the shots were great and all, but somewhere the music, what sort of music, lo-fi music they use, the angles, sometimes they slow-mo something, sometimes they like fast, do like multiply the frame speed of something, and it looks so cool that instantly if you see this, you will fall in love with the person, whoever he is or she is. So I'm like, thank you so much for making it, just because I think it takes time to do it.
I love it. So you're getting some really interesting DMs, some that are helping, of course. And
like that was also like, the other thing was also like not that much, like one or two barely, but yeah, that also was there. So
block. That's what I do.
I don't reply. That's it.
But Chintan, thank you for coming on the pod today. I'm so glad we got to have this conversation. I did not get as many dad jokes from you as I would
because it was very intense. Like the conversation was so intense that I felt like, okay, wow, what should I do now?
Koi nahi, ek aur light wala kar denge at another time. Hopefully when you have your second performance out there for the world to see. And I'll make note to prompt you for dad jokes.
हाँ कि यार ये 10-15 दे देना. पर हाँ अरे ये डैड जोक हम बोल सकते हैं, क्योंकि ये तो हमने बात भी की थी. तो मैंने एक डीएम जो मेरे बहुत मुझे एक्चुअली लगता है कि ओके नाउ आई मेड इट वाज, मैंने जैन को एक क्वेश्चन पूछा था एक इंटरव्यू में कि व्हाट इज ओम्स लॉ. इट्स अ ट्रिक क्वेश्चन जैन, एंड ही सेड के ओके लेट मी थिंक अबाउट इट. Okay, it's a trick question. I don't know. Whose law? Again. So I said, okay, the answer is V is equals to IR. That's voltage is equals to current into resistance. Veer. And that was a trick question. And people, I'm not even kidding, they started DMing me saying, I have test tomorrow and thank you for cracking that joke just because now I know what Ohm's law is, I can remember it. I'm like, anyway, it's an easy law to remember, but still I think job is done.
I love that. That's so sweet.
I actually took a screenshot of it and tweeted it saying, you know what, like I think I've made it. Yeah.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. We've had Chintan with us. Hopefully he will have so many more performances that we will have him on the pod more often and you will get to hear more of those dad jokes. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, Aanam.